afternoon. Welcome to Gulfstream today. Ron Nicoletti, along with Katie Stazak. It is another beautiful day in South Florida. We're going to start the day with a fast main track, a firm turf course, and a nice carryover in the Rainbow Six. Over $171,000 today. Starts in race number 4, races 4 through 9. So it should be a lot of fun with the Rainbow Six. Yesterday, 5 tickets alive, Katie, in the final end, and the horses that ran second, third, well, 3 of them were alive for the whole jackpot, and they ran second, third, and fourth. So whoever had those tickets, boy, were they upset, and the 4-horse ended up winning it, and we got that carryover today.
Painfully close it came yesterday, but we've got another chance today. Actually, hard to believe that it's Sunday. This week has flown by almost as quickly as this Rainbow Six jackpot has risen.
Yeah, it's up to, like I said, over $171,000. And just note that next week we have a 4-day live racing week, which starts on Thursday through Sunday. So just put that in your memory bank. And before we get started with today's card, we want to go back and rewind and show you our stake race from yesterday. And it was the Miss Patty Handicap. It was early in the card, and it was a pretty nice race.
It was a nice race with a bit of a surprising ending. The heavy favorite in this race was the 6 that you see on the lead. That's Cosmic Harmony, and she had her way throughout. She was able to set soft fractions. Looked like she had plenty left for the stretch, but here comes Edgar Zayas and Westminster Road, who just broke her maiden for a tag last time out. Comes back. Pretty obvious that she's figured out this winning thing.
Yeah, she's figured out the winning thing, and you're absolutely right about the 6-horse that ran in second there, Cosmic Harmony, who had it all her own way. You saw some of the splits up there, got away with 24.84 first fraction. I thought she was going to win it for sure, but a really nice performance by Westminster Road, and it was, of course, she's trained by Marty Wilson, who has a way with those fillies.
He does. He's always a force on especially our summer circuit, all the stakes here. Never want to count them out. Ron and I both did yesterday, and we paid for it.
Yeah, exactly. And, and I picked that horse last time, and I just thought, for the exact reason you mentioned, Katie, stepping up off a $50,000 maiden win, you figure the logical 3 were there, but leaving Marty Wilson out can be very costly to you. Well, let's get to our first race today, and it is on the turf course, and the turf course is listed as firm. It's 7.5 furlongs. These are claimers. They're 3-year-olds and up, non-winners of 2 races in life, $16,000. Scratch the main track only participant, and that is number 10. He is a gentleman, and I went with the number 3 horse in here. Katie, I'll start it, and that's Amaze. This one is getting, I think, some needed class relief and stretching out around 2 turns today. After, facing stakes caliber competition in its local sprints, one of those on the dirt and one of those on the turf, trainer Gustavo Delgado has Edgar Prado handling what I call a combination drop-down, turn back. I just thought this horse classes up nicely with this level of competition.
I ended up leaving that horse off the ticket, and I may end up regretting it, but I didn't know why the horse was in this race. It seems like a really big drop, and that was a bit of a concern for me, but we'll see if those changes end up giving him a boost. I went with the 9, Tell Me a Joke, and this horse really seems to have found his niche. He had sprinted in all 14 of his career starts before stretching out to 7.5 furlongs on the grass last time out on May 17th, and he posted a career-high buyer when making a bid along the rail to get up for second, beaten just a neck. He's going to return for nearly identical conditions today and doesn't have to improve much to get the win. That's why I put him on top. Who else did you use?
I also went with the number 6 in here, T-minus. Is turning back to that distance we were just talking about, 7.5 furlongs. Set the pace last time out, weak and late to finish 4th, was only beaten 2 lengths. It was against Similar. It was going a mile in the 16th, and you could just see the wide open nature of this first race. We only have 1 horse that we're in agreement with. That's what makes betting these races fun.
Absolutely. A great challenge to start the card today. I had to throw in I Feel Great as well, who's going to look to make it 2 in a row after scoring a breakthrough victory last time out when he broke his maiden. It's always difficult to face winners for the first time, but this horse has already proven his consistency because he finished second in each of his 3 previous starts.
Well, it's a good thing to watch the first race today, see how the turf course is playing, see who's maybe figured it out early on between Katie and I. Who knows? It's only the first race. We'll see as the card progresses. Let's go back to the second race, and this is on the main track at a mile in the 16th. These are claimers 3-year-olds and up, $6,250. 3 scratches in here. Number 2, Wild Conceits. Number 5, Makeout Man. And number 7, Duke. And we have a replay we want to show you of the start of a horse that Had no chance after that.
Had no chance after the start he had last time out. You're going to take a look at the 7, Rome Burned, and he's going to be pretty obvious. Take a look at the bad stumble he takes there. He took himself right out of the race. He had no shot. Prior to that, he was pretty consistent. I'm going to give him another chance at this level. There's a big scratch in here with Wild Conceits. That horse is on top of my ticket, so I end up scratching into this horse, and I hope he rewards me. 2 for 3 at the distance, and I just saw that trip and thought, put a line through that.
Yeah, you know what happened with that horse last time prior to when he stumbled at the start? And they were dropping him down. He was, facing better, and they were dropping him down. So this looked like the day that he was in a spot where he could win. Then he was eliminated at the start. So I'm giving him a shot, too. I also had Wild Conceits on top of my ticket. Then I moved number 8, Scorpion Time, up into the top spot. Stretching out today, additional 16th of a mile. 8 previous races at this distance with a couple of wins after making an inside bid to finish second to a much the best winner that day called Chillin' Dillon. That was going a mile. Chris Gaddis is the trainer. He's got Manny Cruz in the saddle. Scorpion Time. We just have our exacta flip-flop in here. Used the 1 in third, and tis time for now.
He finished 3rd at this level last time out for trainer Manuel Carrasco, and I saw the pace in here. There doesn't seem to be a lot of it. If he's the controlling speed, he might be able to steal it.
Well, I threw in the 6 with the scratch, and that's Whiskey Tap, and I'll tell you why. It's dropping. Loves the track. 8 races, 2 wins, 2 seconds. Loves the distance. 9 races, 3 wins, 2 seconds in the third. Tyler Gaffleone certainly adds to the appeal. He's been riding in great form. Added him, but we both were in the Wild Conceits we wanted him to win, but he's not running today. I don't know what I was trying to say.
We were on the bandwagon.
That's the word I was looking for. Let's go to race number 3, 1 mile. Claimers, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. Non-winners of 2 races in life or 3-year-olds, $6,250. 1 scratch in here of the number 5 horse, and that's Lady Micra. And we both, no, I don't. I have the 3 Starship Lisa. You went with a horse I do have on my ticket, and that is the 7 Bella Forever.
I can't do it that well. I'm not even going to try. Ron has me beat with that Italian accent. But this filly's going to look to make it 2 in a row. Broke her maiden last time out at the distance. She led throughout, lost the lead at a moment, was able to get it back. I thought that was a pretty game effort. Harry Hernandez is going to pick up the mount today. Really like that. Don't usually put maiden winners on top of the ticket facing winners for the first time, but no one else really screamed at me. But I do see exactly why you would put Starship Lisa on top.
Yeah, and that horse you were just talking about, Bella Forever, was actually carried wide in that race too. So, a good performance. Thus, I put it on the ticket, but I did, as you mentioned, go with the 3 Starship Lisa. A solid maiden winner at this distance on the dirt. Now goes back to the main track today after showing some early interest in fading when going a 2-turn mile on the turf. That was against $16,000, 2 lifetime claimers. The trainer is Alejandro Maimo and has Jesus Rios handling the surface switch. I'm always going to lean to horses that are dropping and going from the turf to the dirt. In my selections, you had it on the ticket too. I used the 2 Elnath in second. You know why I did? It's one of my angles that I always mention up here. He's the only multiple winner in the field. He's had 7 starts. 2 wins. She's had 7 starts, 2 wins in the second. Moved to the Rodolfo Garcia Bon Vita claim. Broke from a tough outside post last time out, which post 12. Made that mid-race bid. Flattened out. That was against $6,250, 3 lifetime claimers. And you say, how does this horse fit these conditions? Because it has that 3-year-old connotation. That a 3-year-old could have more than the 1 or 2 victories in the particular race that she was in. So the only 2-time winner in the field.
Yeah, the way the conditions are written for this race, the 3-year-olds get an edge, and it's definitely an angle that you want to exploit to the best of your ability when you see those multiple winners in there.
Well, who else did you use on your ticket?
I used Berry Blitz. This one's from the Larry Bates barn. Going to stretch out today from 6 furlongs. After making a late run against $12,500 claimers on May 28th, also running for a career low tag, I thought the stretch out and the drop would help her. The last time she ran at a comparable distance on the main track, she finished second against $25,000 claimers back in April. That's a much tougher level than she's going to face today.
Well, our 4th race is where the Rainbow Six is going to start today, and this first race has 7 runners. We'll give you the scratch in a minute. 6 furlongs, claimers 3-year-olds, and up and down-winners of 3 races in life or a race in 6 months or December 14th. $30,000 down to $25,000. Scratch the 6. Keyed Cachet. This race is pretty wide open. It seems there's only 7 runners in the field, but I think there's a couple of ways you can go. You went with the one who I did not use on my ticket, and that is Restaurant.
I really like this horse. He's going to return to this level after actually winning a starter allowance last time out for trainer Rowan Cretan. He was second at this level of competition 2 starts back when he was bested by We're All Set, and I loved the run We're All Set put in that day when he was making his first start off the claim for trainer Peter Walder. Those horses always seem to move forward in a big way. What I like most about this horse is that he can show speed or he can race. So regardless of how the pace develops, I think he's going to be able to sit the trip and can make it 2 in a row. But I do have the 8 on my ticket as well, and that's your top selection.
Yeah, I went with number 8, Chepstow, turning back after following a 3rd place finish behind a horse that I think is very impressive, and that is Requite. Was at this distance, was back on May night, then comes back, stalks the pace, and fades to finish 5th. That was against $16,000 optional claimers going 7/8 of a mile. The trainer is Kirk Zadie, apprentice Harry Hernandez, handling the turn back in distance today. This horse is keeping company with some pretty nice horses, and this to me looks like an easier spot, so I put Chepstow right on top of my ticket.
Well, trainer Kirk Zadie is boasting some impressive percentages right now. That's no surprise. But when he teams up with Harry Hernandez, the numbers are just outstanding. They've won 6 of 10 starts together at the current race meet. That is a 60% win clip.
I knew that. That was more easy for me to figure out, 6%. If it was something else, like 5 for 19, I would have been in big trouble.
We're keeping the math easy today, Ron.
And we both used the number 2, Narvaez.
Yeah, this one returned from more than a 4-month layoff to finish second at the level and distance. It's a logical assumption to just think that he'll be better second start back off the layoff.
Well, the other horse I threw on my ticket was the 5, General Shama, and this one's hoping to find just a little more for the stretch drive. Rallied late to finish 4th behind aforementioned future stakes winner on that particular day, Requite and Chepstow. That was that race on May night. Edgar Zayas rides for trainer Dan Peter. I just thought this horse has a chance to, maybe if not win, be on the exacta trifecta ticket. But this being the Rainbow Six, I find I can't leave this horse off my Rainbow Six ticket.
I'm interesting to see how that race that all of those horses are coming out of holds up, because if they all run well, that is going to be a major key race to play in future days.
Yeah, and you don't really know until they run this race this time, because they're coming out and they all have different excuses that they're making today. Who's turning back, who's dropping down, who's going somewhere else. So, you can only key off how you thought those last races run. So we'll see how it works out. That is the first leg of the Rainbow Six. We got the pick 5 starting in race number 5 today. 5 furlongs on the grass. The turf course is listed as firm. It's an allowance. Fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upwards. Scratch number 5. Text appeal. We want to go back and show you the performance of the horse that we both have on top of our tickets today, and that is Knox County Zip.
I love this filly. She's so game. She always shows up. And, Ron, I know you must agree, because we're thinking identically in this race from what I saw up there on the board before. But take a look at the 8 in here. That's Knox County Zip. She faced over the horses last time out, and it was a really strong effort. She splits horses, and she's pretty game, runs on, but she's beaten a length by a filly named I Will Be Free, and that's a pretty nice one. She's run very consistently as well. 2 starts back, she won, loved the winning effort. The start prior, she was second to Little Michelle, who would go on to win a stake afterwards. I just think that she has the back class, and she always shows up.
Well, I'm in total agreement with you, but I would not leave the 1, Silver Sachet, who we both have in second on the ticket. This one was given some time off in winning her 2nd consecutive turf sprint when she broke from the rail and led every step of the way to defeat $25,000 optional claimers back on April 24th. 4 races at this distance with 2 wins. Guess what? It's Kirk Zadie, so I think Silver Sachet, Edgar Zayas in the saddle, is one of those horses is a must-use on your Rainbow Six, or if you're starting to pick 5 now.
And she's going to have the freshness edge, not having raced since April. She's going to be on her game today.
And number 7, Upbeat Mood, does the best running in the ladder. Well, stalking the pace.
Yeah, what I noted was that she finished just behind I Will Be Free a couple of starts back, who would come back to beat Knox County Zip last time out. So I thought with that form, I would put her on the ticket.
Yeah, I did it for the similar reasons, but I just thought she might end up sitting the trip. To me, it looks like that. All of these 5 furlong turf races usually have a pretty contentious early pace. So I just thought this horse, with the ability to stalk off it, Marty Wolfson, who we mentioned, does very well with these fillies and mares here, has Harry Hernandez in the saddle. So this one can carve out a nice stalking trip. Could be on the ticket, and I personally think you got to use all 3 of these on your Rainbow Six ticket. At least I did on mine.
I agree. I would not be surprised if either of those 3 came out as the winner.
Well, let's go to race number 6 today, and this one is a 6 furlong maiden claiming event. Fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, $20,000 down to $16,000. The jockey on the one horse in here is Ed Gardzaya, scratch number 9, Planar, and I scratched into number 7. Temperature running. Did you?
I did.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened. She's going to get the blinkers added today after she dueled on the lead and faded to 3rd in her career debut on May 7th. Jesus Rios is going to stay aboard as she's dropping from the $50,000 level. I think that's a key angle here. And trainer Sandino Hernandez Jr., he's added the blinkers just once, and he did it successfully.
Well, that race you were mentioning, that $50,000 race, is also a key race. It has produced a pair of next out winners. So not only coming out of a pretty, dropping down, coming out of a pretty hot $50,000 type race. So number 7, Temperature Runner, looks good in there. I put the 1 in 2nd, Sweet Hall, who's going to depart from the inside post today. After opening that quick 5-length lead last time out, then finishing 2nd, that was against $16,000 maidens at the distance. And I think she's going to be part of the pace scenario as soon as they open the gate, getting Ed Gardzaya in the saddle today.
And she has an experience edge over a lot of the other fillies in this race. She's had 4 starts under her belt already, and she was just outrun last time by the deserving favorite. So I think she's going to factor in this race.
Oh, who else did you use in race number 6?
I threw in the 2 Spectacular Flash, a little bit of a question mark because this is going to be her career debut for trainer Ralph Nix, but I like the work pattern. 8 published works leading up to the debut, including a nice 4 furlong work here last Sunday, went 48-3.
Well, I'm going to play the stats with the number 3 horse in here, and that's Annie Bell, making a career start number 2 after rallying to finish 3rd behind aforementioned Sweet Hall. That was in her $16,000 6 furlong debut. Here's the stat I'm alluding to. Kathleen O'Connell, this is a good stat, 32%. That's with 53 starters, $3.69 return of investment with maidens making their 2nd start. That's always been one of my favorite angles with Kathleen O'Connell. 2nd start, that's what Annie Bell is doing today. 10-1 on the morning line. I like this horse to grab a share.
And I like the value.
Yeah, 10-1, it's going to be pretty good. She does an excellent job. 2nd career start. Let's go to race number 7 today. 5 furlongs on the turf. It's an allowance, 3-year-olds and upward. We only have 1 scratch, and it's the main track only participant, and that is number 11, Divine Energy. And we want to go back and show you the horse that we put on top of our ticket again, and this one is Moonshine Sipper.
This horse is so talented, if only he would use it for good. He is such a handful, and you see him loom large here last time out. He would have been much the best, but all of a sudden he's going to decide that he wants to do things his own way, and he's difficult to handle, and he drifts out. He's always wants to drift out. He's done it. We've seen it numerous times. When he got the blinkers added the first time, he was so professional, and he had a really nice win, but he goes back to his antics last time out. Then he decides maybe he'll re-rally a little bit and get a piece of it. He gets 3rd. He's his own worst enemy. If he runs his race and he stays focused, he's much the best in here. Yeah,
and he was given some time off after that race, and he returns for Wesley Ward, and we have a nickname for Wesley Ward around here, and that's the Horse Whisperer. So if anybody can just straighten him out, it's going to be owner-trainer Wesley Ward of the number 1, Moonshine Sipper. We have our 2nd and 3rd horses flip-flop. I went with the 6, Great Harbor K in 2nd. This one will face winners on the turf after drawing away like a good thing to defeat $40,000 maidens going 3/4 of a mile. That was on a main track listed as good, had some moisture in it. Kirk Zadie, you mentioned Harry Hernandez, 6 for 10. I heard that somewhere, 60% when they hook up together, and that's what's happening with number 6, Great Harbor K.
He was an 8-length winner that day. Really impressive, but this is going to be his turf debut, which is why I put him in 3rd, but wouldn't be surprised at all if he took to the grass like a fish in water.
Well, we both used the number 3, Galandonato, on our ticket.
He broke his maiden in a turf sprinting debut on May 22nd, and he's going to look to get a win streak going today when facing winners for the first time. if Moonshine Sipper decides that he wants to play around and show those antics again, I think he's going to be the one that's going to capitalize.
Yeah, and he had a little trouble in his last race. He was bumped a little bit at the 316 pole. We're talking about the 3-horse in there, Galardonado. So we see it pretty much in agreement, just a couple of horses there, flip-flop. One of the beautiful things about the summer here at beautiful Gulfstream Park is 2-year-old racing, and that's what's happening in race number 8. 5 furlongs, 2-year-olds under maiden special weight conditions. I went with the number 9 horse in here, and you went with the number 1, Swamp Chili. You're giving Swamp Chili another chance.
I am. He just didn't run his race last time out. This is just such a well-bred colt. He's a half-brother to Grade 1 winner Midas Eyes, among many other stakes winners and graded stakes winners. He's got quite the pedigree. He was put on the grass last time out for trainer Stanley Gold and just never ran. He was last throughout. They're going to make an equipment change today. He's going to try the main track, and I just think that he's been working really well. He just didn't run to his ability last time, and I think with all the talented horses Stanley Gold has, he's been training well with them, so I think they'll help give him a leg up, and I think the surface switch will hopefully move him forward. I am going to give him another chance.
Yeah, he's bred up and down. He's half to a bunch of stakes winners and full to hear no evil, so he's just certainly bred to be anything. I went with the number 9, Biggest Drama, and I'll tell you why. The old key race guy that I am. This one stretching out to 5 furlongs after finishing an even third behind a repeat winner in that race called Moment Is Right. And what did Moment is Right do in the next start? It went up and won the Astoria up at Belmont Park, so it comes back, wins a stakes winner. Then there's one other horse that came out of this race, and that is Francesco Blue. And what did Francesco Blue do? Won. So 2 horses come out of that race. One wins a stake. The other one comes back and wins its next start. So I'm going off the key race angle. Put the number 9, Biggest Drama on my ticket. But the one that I'm hearing about is the horse that you have in second, and that is Union Vow.
I really like the work pattern on this horse. It jumped out at me on the form. His last 2 4-furlong breezes were 48 and change. He went that distance in 47 and 1 early last month. Just looks like he's going to be sharp. Son of Broken Val. Edgar Prado is going to be aboard. Lots to like about this horse.
Yeah, I mean, the workout pattern. I did not use him on the ticket because I had allegiance to Swamp Chili. I was decided who I was going to put in third. It was going to be either the 8 or the 1. But let me tell you why I put the 2 in second, and that is Big Boy Bruno. And this one is a gelded son of Seeking Beauty, debuting from Monarch Stables and trainer Larry Pilati. And if that sounds familiar, they had a 2-year-old win, same sire, just the other day by Seeking Beauty. That was on Thursday. It was race 2, and that horse was called Flashing Light. So this same breeding, same sire, coming back. Barnes doing good. Good workout pattern, so I went with the 2, Big Boy Bruno in second.
This is a nice field. I think this is a race where you definitely want to go deep. Not only are there unknowns with the first-time starters, but I think this is one of the more competitive 2-year-old races we've had.
And you could also know I like saying Big Boy Bruno, because I've said it numerous times, because it's a fun thing to say.
Gotta love alliteration.
The 9th race today on the turf, 1 mile and 1/16. Claim is 3 and up, $12,500. We have a couple of jockey changes in here. On the 3-horse, make the rider Edgar Prado. On number 4, make the rider Miguel Vasquez. And we both went with number 9, Concert Stage.
This is a very tough super high 5 race. This is a very tough super high 5 race, but I had to give the edge to Concert Stage. This one's going to stretch out today. After coming from off the pace to get up for third when going 7.5 furlongs back on May 14th, also taking a class drop from the $20,000 level. He's a 6-time winner at today's distance, and you got to love the connections. Tyler Gaffalione has been aboard for 6 of his last 7 starts, and he's going to return today.
Well, I'm happy to be here. Well, that's the horse I like in second action. Number 11, happy to be here. This one moved to the Alejandro Mimo barn via the claim, and after notching his second consecutive turf victory at the distance when he defeated $10,000 optional claim, has won that race by a measured half length. Jesus Rios will ride this afternoon, so this one changing barns in good form. I see you had it on the ticket. In third, I had it in second. I think it's a horse you have to use in a super high 5. But you also used the number 4 horse, and as we mentioned, going to be ridden today by Miguel Vasquez.
I think happy to be here. It has a really strong chance to win this race. I had to put him in third because he's coming off just 9 days rest, but it wouldn't surprise me if he ran even better. I really like the 4 Glenstall Abbey, though, who I think might have the freshness edge. He returned from a 2-month layoff last time out to finish third at the level and distance. Eddie Castro's going to stay aboard today. Trainer is George Navarro. Always have to respect those connections and should be better second start back.
Well, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No.
Who else did you use? Will Run for Beer?
Yeah, Will Run for Beer. You know, for Rob who works up in the broadcast room, as soon as I saw this, I thought of him, and then it made me take an extra look at this. And that's number 5, Will Run for Beer. This one is hoping to save just a tad more for the stretch run after surrendering that 2.5-length lead when caught by who else? Happy to be here at this level of distance. That was back on May 17th. Kathleen O'Connell, Luis Figueroa in the saddle again. I thought this horse ran pretty nice. And, of course, the joke about that, you always want to look at a horse that's named Will Run for Beer.
Well, we might just have to get a picture and put it at the finish line, and we'll see how well he runs.
Yeah, that might be the key. So that's how we see the 9-race card. And like we mentioned, we got the Super High Five in the last race. Always do this with a full field of 12 or 13 runners. Remember the Rainbow Six, over $171,000 in the pool. This is when it gets serious here. People are going to be playing this with 2 fists.
2 fists, maybe 3 if you can get one. It's going to be an exciting day, and that carryover, we'll see how big it gets by the time we get to the 4th race.
Good luck, everybody.